We now welcome Portia Asare from the Above and Beyond Initiative. Welcome, Portia.
Thank you so much, Javier.
I am very happy to meet you, and I can't wait to ask you about the organization that you founded, Above and Beyond Initiative.
Thank you so much.
Came up with this concept yourself.
Yes, I am very excited to be here, so thank you for having me.
Now, how did this happen?
Okay, so Above and Beyond started in 2014, literally in my living room. A few years after college, I was thinking about a way to give back to my community, and I couldn't think of a better way than to reach out to some of the young girls who've been maybe facing the same challenges that I did while I was in middle school, high school, through college. So I wanted to empower them so they can be successfully integrated into the community. So I started Above and Beyond in my living room about 4 years ago.
What are some of the services and the work that you have been doing since then?
Okay, so many things. So it's a youth-driven organization. Obviously, we work with young girls, young minority girls that are in middle school through college. And the goal is to really equip them with interpersonal and educational skills that they can successfully integrate into the community when it comes to their professional world. So we help them with some professional development projects where they can work on their resume, how to properly dress for an interview, how to speak, your social media platform, what to write on there, what not to say. And also we do some projects where they give back to their community, some civil projects where they can give back, be service, and not to just take in. A great way to be involved in their community.
Have you also been coaching them in terms of social media, how to use that?
Yes.
The plus and minuses of being young and social media.
Absolutely. Dangers of it. There's pros and cons of it. But I believe when you're in middle school or high school, and maybe sometimes in college, you're not really aware of what can appear years along the line, and it can be, it can affect you negatively. So our goal is to really teach them what is appropriate for the world to know and what should be kept personal as far as social media platform. Being mindful of your professional world, having eyes on this platform of yours. So it's not just for the world of your friends, but it's for the world in your professional life as well. So
the initiative has been spearheading an annual campaign that ends in the next few days on May 12th.
Yes. So speaking of some of the civic involvement and community project that we do, we host My Sister's Keeper, a toiletry drive. This is our 3rd annual. I am super excited. Unfortunately, yes, it is the last few days until we end our drive, but there's still room for people to donate. So My Sister's Keeper is a toiletry drive that was inspired by an article that a colleague of mine came across in 2014. It was found in the Huffington Post, and this was an article that shed light on the challenges and struggles that homeless and sheltered women encounter when they are menstruating. Yes, the shelters do provide a home for them, but it doesn't really provide these sanitary items that they can use when they're menstruating. So our goal was to be part of that conversation and to help put a stop to it. And so we collect sanitary items such as pads, tampons, conditioners, shampoos, toothpaste, toothbrush, just any item that a woman can use while they're menstruating, and we help support these women.
What has been people's response since the campaign started back in February?
Yes, it's been very, very positive. We have 5 different locations. Yes, 4 in the Bronx and 1 in Manhattan. Well, we've been getting a lot of responses through our social media platform and our email. People have been donating, and also they've been emailing us to coordinate so we can pick them up if they're unable to go to the nearest location. So we're super excited about
These items will be delivered to women's shelters?
Yes, it will be. This year we're going to be at Suzanne's Place up in Jerome, is a women's shelter. We were there to serve their dinner a few Saturdays ago. We helped serve the food and clean up. We built a rapport and some relationships with some of the women there. And believe it or not, there are many stories that needs to be heard from them. And we felt that it was a need to go into these shelters to actually hand it to them directly so they can feel warm, they can feel, there are many different stories. Some don't feel like coming outside because of clinical reasons. Others have no families, their children do not want anything to do with them because they're in the shelters. There are many different stories that we came across while we were servicing there. So we decided to give it directly to them just so they can have this special day on Mother's Day it's for them, so they can have it to themselves.
Is there any way that people could donate year-round, even though the campaign might not be officially on?
Absolutely. Once the drive is over, they can please email us at info@aboveandbeyondinitiative.org, or they can follow us on any of our social media handles, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Right,
Yes,
all of
and
the
Twitter.
social
All
media
the
platforms.
above.
Can people go there as well for also information about your year-round programming
Absolutely,
and workshops?
absolutely. So we do host our workshops where we even have some of the professional development leaderships workshops where we go to the UN. So the youth that we work with, they get the opportunity to go to the UN. Most of them is their first time, so they get a chance to meet some leaders across the world, and to engage in conversations with them. We host our discussion groups where we touch sensitive topics that most schools and the educational system do not touch. This is a platform, ABI is a platform for them to be open and to talk about these sensitive topics that they're unable to talk to their parents about. So
Thank you, Portia,
Yeah.
for joining us today, and
thank you so
congratulations
much.
on this initiative.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Friends, we will return after the break.